Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Zoho Inspire Bootcamp 2018. As we all know, this month we are dedicating all our webinars to Zoho Campaigns, which is the next most talked about product right after CRM. And on today's agenda, we have Arun Kumar from the campaigns team who will be discussing about deliverability and its implications and how to boost your deliverability and make sure all your emails reach your recipient's inbox. For those of you who are using GoToWebinar for the first time, if you notice right at the bottom, there are options where you can enter your question or your feedback in the chat box, and we will constantly be monitoring that as well. So in case you have questions, we have our team who will be answering all your questions as and when you ask them. Or if you have feedback, please let us know in that chat box as well. I hope the connectivity is fine. I hope there are no network issues. I hope the audio and the video are both extremely clear. In case they are, please let us know in the chat box, or you can do so by raising your hand as well. So I hope there are absolutely no issues with connectivity, and I hope the screen is clear and the audio is clear as well. So So today's webinar, as I said, is about email deliverability coming from Arun Kumar from the deliverability team of Zoho Campaigns, and he will be your host for today. So thank you so much. Welcome, Arun. Please take over.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks Sarvesh. So today we are going to break down the concept of delivery entirely and look at it from multiple perspectives. I have been part of delivery team at Zoho Campaigns for 3 years and love to share my insights from that to ensure that all your emails reach your subscribers inbox, boosting your engagement and helping you make the most of your email marketing efforts. So let's say the agenda is like so today's the first thing we are going to do is understand what is deliverability is, and in essence, we will discuss the factors that affect deliverability and the impact your delivery rate can have both positively and negatively. Then we will talk about some of the common unhealthy practices we come across and the problems they can cause. While we are on that, we will also be looking at how you can tackle these problems or avoid them altogether. After that, let's take a look at some of the best practices that the user can follow to ensure good delivery rates. Then let's see what our delivery team at Zoho Campaigns does to make sure your emails safely reach your subscribers' mailbox. And finally, let's discuss the role of a partner ensuring better delivery for the customers before we move on to Q&A session. Okay, let's talk about what is deliverability and how does it works. Simply put, email delivery is an ability to ensure that your emails are delivered to your subscribers inbox at the right time. If this takes a hit, naturally the open rates of email campaigns will come down, which consequently affects your email marketing and has far-reaching effects. The one question we ask most is, why are my emails landing in spam or junk folder? Can we do something about it? Okay, let me give an detailed answer for this question. We need to examine how the various email service providers and internet service providers operate. Essentially, they have their own criteria that checks for spam and accordingly pushes them to the corresponding folder. To tackle this, you need to be compliant with the norms, which focus on two major aspects: the reputation of the sender's domain and the practices followed by the senders while sending emails. First, let's discuss the former. ESPs and ISPs maintain a score for a domain and the practices which is followed by an email sender. Now we can go ahead and check what are the positive reputation and what are the negative reputation which will be scored by an ISPs and ESPs. The positive impacting factors were opens, clicks, moving emails to inbox, replies, and according to the adding the contact list and the address book. First opens. How many people open your emails and how many of them have multiple opens for the same emails? They will calculate how many of them open your emails and how many times the emails have been opened. So based on that, they will calculate the um, positive score for your sender domain reputation. And second thing is clicks. Another thing, like the important your domain reputation is a number of people who click on the links that you provide in your email. And the third, moving emails to inbox. In case your emails ends up in a recipient's junk folder, how many of them move into their inbox? That's the third thing. And the fourth, the replies. It enhances the replies to your the emails. It enhances your score. Is the number of subscribers who respond to your emails after opening them. The last one is like adding your sender address into their contact list or address book. Finally, the ESPs and ISPs also look at how many people add you their into their address book and contact list. And now we'll go to the negative impacting factors. The first one is deletion. If a people on your mailing list delete your email without even opening it, that will count as negatively impacting factor. And the second, reporting your email. So if a people flag your email as a spam or report it as abuse, your domain reputation will take a hit. And the bounces, another threat would come from sending emails to invalid mailboxes. So, and the final thing is like, moving your emails to junk folder. If your subscriber moves your emails from the inbox to the junk folder, it will cause, more concern. So based on, these factors which we discussed in a positive and a negative, your domain reputations will be calculated. And based on the domain reputations, they will, I mean, like the ISPs or ESPs will decide to move your emails to inbox or spam or junk folder. So let's take a quick recap on this. ESP and ISPs have a major influence on your email deliverability rate, and they look for your domain's reputation, the practices you follow while sending out campaigns, and the way in which your recipients engage with you through those emails. And some of the practices you follow might concrete and in fact prove eternal to your deliverability. Now let's see what you shouldn't be doing. Most of the problems the email marketers face, such as bounces or being marked as spam, can come from various unhealthy practices. If left unchecked, they will reduce your domain's reputation to an extent where you can get blacklisted. If that happens, it is the best to discard your domain entirely, as all emails sent from it will either be blocked by ESPs or land only in the junk or spam folder. So let's take a quick look and what you should do while sending out email campaigns, and also talk about how to resolve the subsequent problems. First thing, amateur or secondary domain usage. Not using your own domain to send out emails. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Can talk about the amateur or a secondary domain users. Not using your own domain to send out emails. Not using your own domain to send out emails and using a separate domain for this purpose. Let's say you are a part of an organization, for instance, Zilker, for example. Then try to make sure all your emails are sent only from Zilker.com and not some other like xyz.com. Doing this provides a sense of authenticity to your emails as well. Having said that, in case there are comes a situation where you absolutely cannot use your own domain and are enforced to have a separate one, do a thorough inspection to check the other domain's reputation before you use it, or it might affect your email delivery completely. Even then, say you use xy.com, clearly mentioned in your all your emails, like they have to know. I mean, like your subscribers have to know. You have been subscribed here, and I'm sending email behalf of this domain. And the second thing is improper list management. That is called poor list management. As the name suggests, improper management of your list can also cause trouble in form of either bounces or hitting of high spam traps. In case of bounces, there are two types of bounces we already know, and hard bounces, and another thing is like soft bounces. So we'll go for an hard bounce first. Hard bounce where the email address you are attempting to reach is invalid. In this case, we automatically remove that email address from your mailing list. The large number of hot bounces in a single email campaign, our team halt the campaign immediately, tries to check what the issue is first. They will check, what caused this much of high hard bounces, and once they resolve, they will proceed to send an email to the rest of the people on your list. The second type will go for soft bounce. The soft bounce where the address cannot temporarily accept your email. That is called soft bounce. This happens when for an example, the inbox of the recipient is already full. They didn't clear they didn't clear their mails from their box. To get rid of that of hard bounces, I would suggest setting up a double opt-in system to ensure that every email address that comes your way is valid and responsive. For soft bounces, it is advisable that you maintain a personal threshold for each list. Say in case of number of soft bounces crosses 20% in a total number of your subscribers list, then discard the list completely and do a proper analysis on the list. I mean, like where the list we have, you have bringing up, like what the source of those lists, and what the source of lists. Collect those addresses and then send it. Hello everyone. I'm sorry for this inconvenience, and we had some technical issues in this. So now this has been rectified, and I think we can go ahead and continue with this. So again, I would like to start from soft bones. So before when you have an the percentage your own threshold, like when you send out campaigns, like if you get 20% of soft bones in your list, isolate the list completely and check and do in a proper analysis, like where did we get this list from, and what are the causes for this soft bounces, and is it like particular domain, or particular like some of them collected the list from the event they organized, or so it's based on that. So do an proper analysis on your list completely and take an action on that. And the third thing is I would like to talk about spam traps. Spam trap occurs when a people subscribe when using an inactive email address. These spam trap addresses where they will not get any opens or any clicks. There will be no activity in this spam trap addresses. So for that we need to check all the unresponsive contacts and inactive contacts from our list. So it's better idea to have a double opt-in. uh, Double opt-in is the only way to get rid of this problem as well. Additionally, you can keep check on every subscriber's activity and see there is anyone who has received all your emails but never opened them. In that case, you can try to send two or three re-engagement emails. Like you can even segment all those contacts and you can send them a re-engagement email and look for their engagement further. If you get in a response from your subscribers, then you can add them back in your mailing list and you can start sending your email campaigns. And the main important thing is try to avoid purchasing list, as it generally comes from with the aforementioned issues and can lead the unnecessary problems. The easiest way to do that to focus on permission based marketing. Also, personally, evaluate the list as soon as you did adding those lists into your account. So before adding those lists into your account, please evaluate all the lists completely. As I said before, the source of the contacts and where did you collect it from? I mean, like where did you get those contacts through our sign up forms, and all these were double opted and all. Whether you got a permission from your subscribers or recipients to avoid such spam traffics. And when we check about the list, you have to check how many bounces and complaints and spam targets and unsubscribes and open and click rates. So based on these analysis, you can you can take you can analyze your list. And the another thing is poor email marketing plan. In case your email campaigns aren't planned out properly, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Try to schedule a campaign at a reasonable interval, ideally. I recommend sending one campaign in a week. Increasing the frequency of your emails might come off flooding your subscribers inbox. They might mark all your emails and mark all your emails, and they might delete your emails, or else they can mark all your emails and mark it as a complaint. So in this way, there are chances to affect your domain's reputation. And another thing you can do is find out the right time to send an email campaign. Such you can engage your subscribers at the right time. So monitor all the opened time of your recipients. So you might have sent a campaigns to the same list before, and watch out the open times of each of your subscribers and segregate them and plan your email based on their open time. And the next thing is the email content. Poor alignment in your emails or non-personalized content and unresponsive emails are just some of the things that you can do wrong in your emails. These can adversely affect your delivery and cause many people to unsubscribe or even report your emails. Not to mention the attention it takes away from the links in your emails. There are lots of things can be followed here. Some of the things are rather fundamental that you might already know. For instance, you cannot use spammy subject lines or options content. But beyond that, there are a few other measures that you really need to take before sending out an actual campaign. First of all, I would personally recommend you all to test your email before sending them to your actual recipients. Send your emails your test accounts and check whether the alignments and the landings are working, or whether it is landing in spams or inbox, and whether you're getting any alerts or check before check your emails before sending to your subscribers. And as I said, it will gives you a clear idea about how your email looks, and what exactly your email is. And try to send your campaigns on batch by batch basis, as opposed to pushing them all out at once. This makes for a smooth sending of your campaign. Secondly, always personalize your emails as per your target audience, and try to send the email full of contextual and relevant content. This would again lead to fewer unsubscribers. Few ways personalize your email would be using merge tags or dynamic content, and by segmenting your list to make focusing on your target audience easier. And while using the link in your emails, try to make it as a direct as possible. Don't use multiple redirecting links in your email. Any link that redirects multiple times, it viewed as suspicious by an anti-spam filters in place. Anti-spam filters, they will check the link. If it takes the multiple redirections, there are chances to classify the links as suspicious. In case you're sending, shortened links, try not to use a third-party service for shortening. A lot of spammers might be using the same shortening service. If we are using the same shortener service to shorten our lengthiest URL and to have that URL in our email, that'll again affects our email delivery. The next thing is like all about the email content and the usage of images in your email content. So using images is a good thing as they add color to your email, but ensure that your email is not 100% just with only images. So avoid having single images or having only images in your email content. So I mean, like having only images in your email content will definitely will affect your email delivery. Let me tell you how it affects. First, it increases the size of your email, and not only your email will take longer to reach your recipients, and some ISPs or ESPs will block images while displaying the email. In case if your recipient would be looking at the blank screen instead, I mean, like when if your email campaigns is like having only images in your campaign, ESPs and ISPs will block all your images, and once they blocked all your images, unless and until your recipient give display images below or show the email images content, your email would be like blank screen. Your recipients will be seeing a blank screen. So try to use an adequate amount of complementary text to go with the images, so that even if the pictures aren't displayed, the information will be conveyed properly. Another thing you need to check for the whether the template you are using is responsive across platforms. Some templates work best only on desktops and might cause alignment issues if it is not poor readability. If the email is opened on a mobile platform, finally there are two things you need to visibly include all in your emails. First of this, the sender information. In order to prevent your subscribers from feeling alien and to make sure that they clearly know where the email is coming from, always include sender information in emails. For an example, you are subscribed here to receive our newsletters and the company postal address and the legit I mean like the legally authorized person name. This will gives a clear information about your organization to your recipients. This will helps to build a more trust to your recipients. So and it also helps to reduce the unsubscribes. Speaking of unsubscribes, the option to do is equally when encountered this is regard come about because of the email does not have unsubscribe link option. I mean, like in case your email doesn't have an unsubscribe link, or if you hide the unsubscribe link, there are chances your recipients might mark your email as a spam. So again, marking your email as a spam, getting a complaint from ISPs and ESPs will definitely degrade your domain reputation. So I mean, like the next thing is like what exactly you should do. Setting up an email authentication. So email authentication will really help to improve our email delivery and to avoid any email delivery issues, because our servers like Zoho campaign servers has to be authorized by your domain to reach your recipient inboxes without any issues. There are three important terms that are integral to email authentication. First, let's talk about the sender policy framework, that is called SPF. Every email goes from the sender to the server and finally to the recipient. In this process, SPF helps you clearly mention what server you use to send your emails, and the ESP of the receiver can let across check either its authenticity. They will check whether whether the emails come from the server and the sender. They both have their authenticity. They authorized the server or not. Based on that, the classification of your emails designs. Any email from someone pretending to be you therefore be rejected as it won't come from the same servers as yours. The second important thing is DKIM, which stands for the domain key identified mail. DKIM allows you to add a private key to your emails and also encrypts before sending it to your recipients. All the encryption ensures that your email cannot be spoofed or tampered with at all. Once your intern subscribers receive an email, the ESPs will decrypt that key and will check whether the check with the public key which is published already. They will check and they will verify it. Based on that, again, they will classify whether we can move this email to inbox or a junk folder. All these encryptions ensure that your emails not be spoofed or tampered. So once your internet subscribers to receive the emails, they will enforce authenticity functioning a record that definitely being sent by you. They will check whether the emails will were sent by you or not. That's why we are enforcing all our customers or and all our users to do an email authentication. Finally, another term I would love to discuss in DMARC, which stands for domain based message authentication. Reporting and conformance, essentially it checks whether you have configured both SPF and DKM for your domain and correspondingly assigns priority to your emails. Emails that are DMARC authenticated receives highest possible priority. That ones have a neither SPF and nor DKM configured mostly get blocked by ESPs or sent to spam. So setting up SPF and DKM on your account is highly recommended. Let's take a look, how to do it. So here I have accessed, my Zoho campaigns account where, we can see the left top, like left bottom of the page settings, and where you can um, go for the manage senders. There you can see like, sender address, whether you can set up your SPF on DKIM here, or else you added your domain, and you can do, the SPF and DKIM settings here. Let me add here because I have added my sender address over here. I just doing setup. You can see the value of the SPF which we are given from Zoho campaigns. This includes like the domain called zcsend.net. This is our mail sending domain. You can just copy that and you can add that in your DNS settings. Every domain will have their own DNS settings, and you can add our domains in. You can do that with the help of your hosting provider and your ID admin, and the same thing applicable for the DKM as well. So once we done the email authentication, we are ready to go. And the second thing is like very important, we have to look into like the government laws like can spam, CASL, GDPR. It always help to be informed in case of your email marketing doubtfully. So one place to start would be stay updated on the latest legal policies and regulations that govern email marketing, and also thoroughly understanding the pre-existing regulations such as can spam, CASL, GDPR, the upcoming GDPR. And the third thing, will help to improve your overall email delivery performance. One step is using our vCard merge tag. So vCard merge tag. Okay, let's see like what is vCard merge tag. A quick the vCard merge tag while crafting your email, this automatically creates a VCF card without you needing to add manually attach anything into your email. Your subscribers can download this attachment and add this attachment into their address book. This will add your sender address into the address book or a contact list. Once your sender address is added into their address book or contact list, again the reputation for your domain and for your sender address will get a positive reputation. As I mentioned before in our the reputation score, how they calculate the positive and negatives. So I will explain you in detail how to use that vcard merge tags. Let's see like I'm creating my campaign. Okay, just opening, just creating an my regular campaign, create campaign. So we have the pre-designed templates, or else you can have your templates on your own in this libraries setup as well. So I'm just creating. I'm selecting the random which we have already pre-designed. So here is my template looks like, and I can add a text like here. So I will have the text like click here to download. Here you can see above the merge tags where we can have the bottom of the merge tag called vcard merge tag. So just copy that. I mean, like you can give you can I mean, like, give a link where you can add that merge tag. Is like I'm just giving here, I'm adding it. So that's done. So once you're sending this email to your subscribers, they can able to easily download this attachment. Once they download that attachment, and they added our attachment into their contact list, your sender address will be adding into it. So the final thing is like testing your emails. Apart from just testing a final version of your emails before sending your campaign, you also use A/B testing to make sure you optimize your subject lines and content for the better openness. Just create a campaign, and before sending an actual campaign, you just try to send an A/B testing campaign and check which subject lines got better rate. And we have an dedicated email delivery team. We do let me explain in detail what exactly we do is a lot of email products use own mailing server. I mean, like a lot of email marketing products use mailing service that are not owned by them. So in case of any issue, you might have to wait till they talk to the people who own those servers and then resolve the issue, during which time you wouldn't able to be sent emails. So in case of any network issue or any other issue that happens, so they have to contact the mail server providers, and they will wait. I mean, like you have to wait until the issues get resolved. So Zoho campaigns have our own email servers. We constantly monitor it to make sure there is no problems at all. We have a dedicated team that checks server performance and IP errors while monitoring the blacklisting of. So we'll be monitoring our the servers and the black IP blacklisting status completely, and that we do at 24/7. We also maintain a great business relationship with most of the major ESPs and ISPs. So we constantly get to know the industry's best practices along with the latest norms that the ESPs maintain. And in case of any update, we will talk to our product development team to work on the features and product updates accordingly. We also keep in touch with the support and marketing and sales departments to understand what exactly issue. I mean, like what's the current delivery issue that our customers are facing with. And we will once we get to know the issues from our sales team or support team or the marketing team, we will reach out the customer and we will try to get care of them. And we will convey the same to the user education team as well. So based on that issue we got, and we help the customers. I mean, like in the same basis, we will help them to create a pages, help pages, and the blogs and the documents. Make sure all the documents are alive. So, and the final thing is like what are the roles of the partners. I like if we are getting many requests like from our partners where how to set up. I mean, like what are the things that we need to check before getting a configure customer account. So I would prefer check for the blacklist, check the blacklist status of their sender domain and the URL they have in their email content, and do the email authentication for the sender domain. So the email sent without authentication, that will cause higher delivery issue. So once you got a customer, and tell them to do an SPF and DKM authentication, and explain them how effective we can use this email authentication, and the subject line and the content, and these things. So share our guidelines to the customers. They can know about how to do email authentication, and what are the best practices that we have, what are the things they can do, and what are the things they should not do. It's in all the ways, like based on the list management, or the content, everything. So in case if you need any assistance on having these help documents, I can. I mean, like, our team can probably help you on this. Just write to support at zohocampaigns.com. We can share those resources to you. So that's it. So you can post your questions here if you have any. We are ready to answer for it.
Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. Um, in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. In case you have feedback, you can post that in the chat box as well. And we will constantly be responding to it as and when you ask or send us a text.